Today's episode brought to you by Horrible Chopper Pilot. Anywho, enough of that nonsense. I'm actually here to talk to you about Shank. I am the complaining gamer, and hello world. But while I say world, I think it's going to be more like 5 people that are going to see this. So hey, Steve, Smith, Sean, AJ, and all that. Anyway, let's look at this. So Shank is a game from the Xbox Live arcade, and it came out kind of last Wednesday, and the actual style of it is it makes me think sort of Samurai Jack. I don't know if you've seen that cartoon. The gameplay I'm going to be showing you is from the trial, not the full bought version of the game. I'm just going to be cutting out some of the loading screens and whatnot. Anyway, here's the first cutscene, and here's our dude called Shank. He's in some sort of, I guess it's a bit of a Desperado sort of town, if you've seen that film, Desperado. Always going to go into a bar. Going to kick some ass in the bar. Some fights going down. Some blood from the head. Yeah, this really does make me think of some sort of Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez sort of film.
Around here, it's usually someone that's looking for us.
Okay, so basically, the story behind this dude is this fucking the butcher. He sort of takes this Shank's girlfriend, and Shank is obviously trying to get revenge and whatnot. One of the first things you'll notice about this game is the style. It just looks fantastic. One of my friends, Infectious, he made the point about like what's happened to full retail games. I mean, you know, you've got these arcade games coming out now, and they look great compared to a lot of the other games that are coming out now. I mean, some of the arcade titles, they play better, well, they look better, they play better than a lot of the full price games. Just a few things to note. This game will set you back 1,200 points, and the download is around 2 gig. So if you've got internet like Smith, well, yeah, good luck with that. So Shank is looks like Shank's doing some shanking. You can see the developers have put some time into this. I mean, they've got a storyline, they've got an absolutely amazing game style. You know, these cutscenes are pretty sweet, and anytime now we're going to be getting into the game. Shank actually nicks this chainsaw off this guy, and it becomes one of the weapons you can actually use in game. In fact, Shank's got a few weapons. He's got, like, of course he's got his little knives, he's got a chainsaw, and he's sort of dual, I guess they're Magnum, something like that, he's dual pistols. Anyway, we're into the game now, and you know, the style of the actual gameplay compared to the cutscenes, there's not so much of a difference compared to a lot of games. I mean, if we're to talk gameplay, it's all pretty intuitive, you know, compared to most games you will have played. I guess B is your guns, Y is the heavy attack, and X is just a normal attack. Shank's actually got some pretty cool moves where he, as you just saw on the screen, he's got a grapple with the right trigger. I think right bumper is some sort of pounce, and that's pretty sweet actually. I mean, you can already see that it's basically a hack and slash. You know, he's got this sort of beer or whiskey or whatever to get his health back. And every now and again, whilst you're fighting, you get these extra scenes that just pop up, which is it's actually pretty cool. I like that. You know, it just keeps you in the story, keeps you reminded if you have got learning difficulties and have just forgotten already. A few other things about the controls. You know, A's jump. If you spam B, I figure he shoots more bullets. Everything's very natural. The climbing, you just sort of run up to walls and whatnot. You know, very simple, nothing too frustrating like some games can be. There's actually a few more things I want to talk about in terms of the controls. which I think actually matters, and that is the responsiveness. This game is really good for that. You press a button, it happens straight away. There's no lag, because especially with these sort of hack and slashes where, you know, the gameplay is pretty straightforward, you need it to be responsive. You can see on screen they've also incorporated these absolutely massive dudes, which you know, I think it's a pretty cool touch. You know, the enemies have got their little knives and guns and all this. So there's quite a nice little mixture in of the enemies just in the trial version of this game. I mean, at the end of the trial, you're going to see an absolutely gigantic dude. So yeah, just hold on for that, because it's got to be seen to be believed. Oh yeah, a bit more about the actual controls and whatnot. You can see him jumping off some walls and jumping off a skull, which you know, sort of swings you from side to side, which is pretty cool. So you can see that the main mechanic is a lot about just, you know, just slamming enemies into little pieces in this side scroll fashion. I personally had a lot of fun with this game. Initially anyway, you know, I love the style, love the music, love the way the game plays, but some of my issues with these sort of games, a lot like some of the other arcade titles as well, is that how much of the same thing can you do? I mean, like I say, this is just one level and this is just a trial, but I feel as though one of the issues that affects all hack and slashes is how much of the same thing can you do before you get bored. You can take that point however you want it. I mean, because if I'm going to make that point about hack and slashes, what do I then say about first-person shooters? I mean, it is quite easy to just simplify a game, and I guess it's sometimes a bit unfair, because you can just say a sporting game is about a ball, or like, you know, a first-person shooter, all you're doing is shooting. So it's quite easy to just say you're doing the same thing over and over again. Here's a pretty awesome moment to mention, and that this silhouette situation that you've got on screen, it reminded me of Limbo. And if you don't know what Limbo is, that's another arcade title that I highly recommend you check out. That is an absolutely amazing game. I like that the developers are trying to keep things fresh. They're trying to mix up the enemies, the backgrounds constantly changing. They're trying to change the environment that you're going along somewhat. I think it's important to note that even though this is a hack and slasher, it definitely has its own identity. I mean, it definitely has a certain degree of originality about it. That, you know, you could say sets it apart from other games. One thing that I'm personally interested in is, as the game develops, what do the developers add? I mean, just there we've got grenades. Just now we've been shown that you can wall run. So, you know, there's definitely some. You know, you can tell that the game developers are constantly trying to add little nuances to keep it fresh and whatnot. Every time you get one of these big dudes, it's pretty cool to just beat the hell out of him. Like I say, everyone's different, everyone's got a different opinion. I'm sure some people can play hack and slashes all day, no problem, but I feel that some might potentially get bored, even though this game does have a certain degree of originality about it. I don't know if it's enough to get past the fact that it is just button mashing. So here we go again, just trying to keep you in the story a bit more, which, like I said before, it is something that I appreciate. Another different big guy, so it's always good to get ready to beat the shit out of him. This game's saving grace is the fact that there is nothing quite like it in terms of competition. I mean, there's plenty of hack and slashes and whatnot. The story isn't the most exactly, you know, involved and whatnot, but I think it's important to keep on mentioning that this is just the trial. The story can potentially develop and become more in-depth, and if that isn't the case, then at least it's a story people can follow, because you know, sometimes things can get complicated if you have learning difficulties. Something that I did notice while playing the demo, the pounce move, where you press the right bumper, it doesn't actually work on these big guys, so you just have to spend ages beating the shit out of them. And sometimes they just catch you and catch you and catch you, so I can imagine some people getting absolutely pissed off with the fact that some of these guys are taking an absolute beating. But you know, I guess it's always the calm before the storm sort of thing, you know, because we all know what's coming up. There's going to be a big ending to this first section of the game. The footage that I've capped here for Shank, this is actually, to be honest, this was the second time I played the trial, so I kind of knew what to do and what was coming up and whatnot. So I did have a bit of an advantage with that, knowing what I had to do and the buttons and whatnot. Even though, you know, it's not particularly hard to learn, but I remember when I first played this boss fight, I just screwed it up big time. In reality, for those of you who are maybe struggling, I don't know if anyone is struggling with this particular boss, but you can climb the cage to get away from him, and it is literally as simple as get ready for him to sort of run at the cage, and when he's stunned, you just press right trigger, you put a chainsaw on his neck. You probably have to do that 4 or 5 times, I mean, because yeah, people can just survive a chainsaw in the neck, but there you go. It is a game, it's not real life. So if any of you are struggling, just beat him up a little bit, get him angry enough to run at the cage. When he's stunned, right trigger, there you go. I was playing this on the normal difficulty. On hard, I'm sure the enemies take more damage off you and whatnot, but even so, I'm sure the same rules apply. We are coming towards the end of this video now. Just a few things I'd like to say. If you dig the video, please comment, rate and subscribe. There will be plenty more different videos, varied videos that I plan to make on my channel. And a few final notes about Shank. I can highly recommend it as a game, as long as you can deal with the same sort of you know, hack and slash game type. As long as you're cool with that, then I'd definitely say stuff like the storyline and the visuals are definitely enough to keep someone in it. And thanks for watching. Just a few final points I forgot to mention. You can actually play this game in, well, co-op, so you can actually play this game with another friend. To finish, I'm going to leave you people with the final few scenes of the trial.
The real butcher. Where is he?
Try the meat district. You can take the train to...
I know where it is.